Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the deal critical hit to an enemy challenge. I've made a couple of videos on this already, but one of the biggest tips that might not be obvious, certainly wasn't obvious to me, is use a shotgun. So when you hit an enemy in a critical hit state with a shotgun, because a shotgun has little balls, I think it's 8 balls per shell, you will get 8 critical hits in one single go on a single enemy. And that might not be obvious to people, right? So if you don't have a shotgun, just head up to the dirt track or even down here at Camden Park. Most courts will carry a shotgun. You just need a standard one. You don't need a TSC or anything fancy. Just a standard combat shotgun or standard short barrel shotgun. It really doesn't matter as long as you're using shotgun shells. And I'm going to show you how quickly we can actually level up. I will then also give you some additional tips on some additional cards that I've mentioned before, like critical savvy, making sure that you're not over encumbered, things like that. But anyway, let me show you how this kind of works quickly for those that just want to kind of get into this. So as you can see, I have 0 out of 25 critical hits on my challenge right now. I've got a shotgun. Okay, let's take a quick look here. Okay, I'm just down here at Camden Park just to kind of show you where I'm at. Doesn't matter. There's you can go anywhere. You know, there's anywhere on the left side of the map. Dirt track I spent a lot of time at as well. But anyway, Camden Park is where I have a camp for this character, and I like this place just because the enemies are kind of medium level versus low level, so you can take a few shots at them. Now watch what happens here once we get into a critical state, right? So let me just do that quick. So just for critical hits, you have to be above 40% on your meter there, your HP meter. I'm using critical savvy, and what that does is allows me to it only drains my critical hit meter by up to 55%, which just allows me to get through this quicker. Okay, so I should have a full meter, and as you might have heard there, it will beep you. So it tells you that you got a full critical hit meter. You can obviously see on the screen when you go into VATS mode that you got a full meter there. We're going to hit Y. And take a look at that. So deal critical hit enemy. I went from 0 to 8 enemies in one shot. Well, not quite one shot because I had to get up there first. But when I actually did the critical shot, there you go, 8 out of 25. So you can actually cruise through this really quickly. You know, if you use a shotgun. Now, if you're using a rifle or a melee weapon, that's 1 critical hit per enemy or 1 critical hit per critical shot. So it's going to take you a lot longer, you know, 8 times longer, essentially, right? So I'm going to give you some quick tips here before we go ahead and carry on. So first thing, make sure that you are well fed, you know, so you're not running out of AP and stuff. The second thing is make sure that you're not over encumbered. You know, it's very you know, you go around killing enemies, you want to pick up everything. So it's quite easy to get over encumbered very quickly. Of course, that drops your AP meter quite a bit. So to avoid picking up or at least becoming over encumbered while you're going through this, that'll just speed things up a little bit. The other thing, I'm going to talk quickly a little bit about cards. So I use a couple of cards. There's 3 cards I can kind of recommend. Again, you don't need any of these cards, so if you're low level or you just don't want to load these cards up, this method you don't actually need any cards. You know, it might take a little bit longer if you don't have critical savvy, but in general you don't actually need cards. You'll be able to cruise through this regardless. The critical savvy just allows you to not go below that 55% threshold. But anyway, let me talk about those 3. So agility, make sure you got action girl if you can. Again, not necessary, it just helps you AP get up there quicker. So if you look at, let me just not run through it too quickly. So if you have, in my case, I have 2 points, action point regenerate 30% faster, 3 points at 45% faster, which isn't bad. And then the one card I really like for this is this guy, yeah, which is Critical Savvy, right? So if you can get this card for this challenge, you can see that, you know, this is, I have a 3-star in this case, but critical hits now only consume 55% of your critical meter. So that every time you take a critical hit, you only lose 45% of the critical meter, which means, of course, you just have to build up that additional 45% each time instead of that 100%, right? So again, it's just different ways to make it a little bit more efficient. But again, you don't need any of these to really get through this quickly. It just helps a little bit. The second card I can recommend, again, these are just luck cards, so don't go off every single time. The second one is a 4-leaf Clover. As you can see, each hit in VATS has an excellent chance to fill your critical meter. So again, just luck. And then one last card, which I don't actually have on this character, would be Psychopath. So if we look at, I actually find Critical Savvy and Psychopath actually work the best. In my opinion, I do see Psychopath going off quite a bit, and that'll fill it up quicker. So in this case, Psychopath gives you 5% in this case, or 3-star gives you an extra 50% chance to fill up your meter. So it does actually work pretty well. So if you're just kind of playing. Anyway, those are kind of my top tips there. So let's go ahead and continue. And I'll show you how quickly we can get this challenge done with just a few general enemies. Okay, so it beeped at me there. Okay, so we got 17. So we went from 8 to 17. That actually gave me, I don't know, what, it gave me like 9 there, right? Surprisingly. So really, for this challenge, I just need sort of 4 critical hits, 5 critical hits, right? 5 or 6, depending how. As you can see, my critical meter was only 45% used. So that card is useful. I mean, it does. This means you have to go through less enemies, right? Okay, I should have a full meter. There we go. There you go. So I went. There was only 3 critical hits I needed in total, and I got the challenge done. Very easy, very quick, very efficient. So grab a shotgun, and like I said, any Scorch should have one. You can obviously buy them. If you don't have one, just go to like Lewis & Sons, or go to the dirt track up here. Just go, you know, they'll either carry sort of rifles or shotguns. Just grab it, and then you should be able to fly through this challenge really quickly. Even the 50, I hope they don't bring those back, but the 50 critical hits, again, you probably just need, you know, 6 or 7, but in this case, we just need 3. Very quick, very easy. Thanks for watching. Hope you found that useful. If you did, hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It does help me out a lot.